Hello, hello. You guys, I'm doing like a quick reading on let's see. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. You guys, I'm doing a quick reading on how you should prepare for the next stage of your life. For some of you guys, you already know what the next stage is and you just kind of need to energetically ground yourselves. For others of you, you kind of know that where you currently are is just not working for you, and you know that you're going in another direction, you just don't know what that direction is. So whichever that might look like for you, the intention is for you to get more clarity on that here. I'm shuffling for my Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck right now. One card that just tried to come out is the Earth Guardian card. I'm going to put it back in and continue shuffling. But it says to stay rooted and grounded. So it might mean that for some of you guys, it's not so much that you're going in a new direction, but it might just mean that you might just need a little bit of excitement in your life, and that's seeming like you feeling like you need to go in a new direction, when in actuality, you probably just need a little balance. For others of you, it might look like you going into a new direction of groundedness. Your current situation might be a little too chaotic, and you might be needing to go into a direction that involves more earthly grounded nature. So I'm gonna pick out 4 cards. It's not gonna be like a pick a card, but I'm gonna kind of envision this almost like an astrological chart, and I'm gonna kind of picture this as the 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th houses, because those 4 houses are very important in astrology. I'm gonna place the cards in that way, and then we'll just kind of, go from there. Follow me. Okay. Give me the first card. First card for what the collective needs to know regarding the new direction they're going in. First card would represent self. What do they need to know regarding the self in this new direction that they're going in? Is there something they need to change about themselves? Is there something they need to embrace about themselves? Or is there something that they need to kind of let go of regarding self as they are going into a new direction? Okay, here we go. First card, self. All right, next card. Ooh. Card of home or roots, like the ancestry, if that makes sense. The home environment, their ancestry, something regarding what about themselves. So this is the card of self. This is the card of home. Next is going to be card of one-to-one relationships or one-to-one partnerships. What about these one-to-one connections is going to be changing, or does the collective need to understand about in the chapter? Here we go. One-to-one connections, partnerships, relationships. And that's not just romantic, you guys. Lastly, card of reputation, career, how the world sees you and how you are impacting the world. So let's start. Card of self, peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. Interesting. So for some of you guys, as you're going into this new chapter, you're learning how to kind of restrain yourself and pick your battles. And this is kind of, whoever's watching this is probably, something from the last reading that I posted is probably resonating. But in any case, there's a part of you that needs to embrace more of a peacemaker or peacekeeper type of mentality. Like some battles are just not worth it. So even if you are right, there's no need to find a way to prove it, because the reality is that at some point it will be proven, and it's not your job to prove it. House of home and roots. What regarding this area of life does the collective need to be aware of? Do they need to change, etc.? Medicine guardian, be open to healing information. So some of you guys might run into, in this next chapter, you might find yourself dealing with some sort of a diagnosis that you might be the first person in your family to get. Like, for instance, let's say you get diagnosed with ADHD as an adult. You might be the first person in your bloodline to actually get a diagnosis, but this might be something that many people in your bloodline have had and just didn't know. Same thing with like mental health things. There might be some sort of a medical diagnosis that's going to come, and you're going to be the first person in your bloodline to have gotten that diagnosis. Further to that, For some of you guys, whoever that doesn't apply to, it looks like some of you guys, and it's kind of tying into this peacemaker card or peacekeeper card, be open to healing information. Some of you guys might be recognizing ways that you need to embrace better communication styles. Some of you guys might, even though you do know what's best for you, some of you guys might be embracing allowing outside information to help you in that regard. It might be finally allowing people to give you advice and things such as that. How one-to-one partnerships regarding this next chapter in the collective's life. Talk to me about what they need to embrace, understand, release, etc. regarding one-to-one partnerships. Moon, take note of intuitive messages. So for some of you guys, you're going to have to allow your intuition and your feeling to guide you when it comes to one-to-one partnerships. And again, this isn't limited to romantic connections. This could be business partnerships. This could be best friendships, relationships to one other person. Something that you agree upon, especially in like writing, like a contract between you and another. So you let your intuition be a factor. This can't just be a logic-based thing, you know? Like if, let's say you decide to take on a business partner, your intuition has to be a part of that process, not just like, oh, this person has X amount of capital and this person can commit this many hours to the business, etc. No. Like, yes, that's a factor, but it can't just be what's in black and white, what's on paper. It also has to be what your emotions are telling you. For some of you guys, there's a serious need to get your charts read. For some of so you guys are making some big decisions and big changes in your lives, and you might need to look at your astrological chart to understand the best times to make those moves. Depending on where certain planets were when you were born versus where they are now, have a huge impact on how you make decisions. So if you guys are making big life-changing decisions, then don't be scared to book a natal chart reading with me so I could help you to know the best times to make some of those decisions. Because you'd be surprised how helpful that can be. Last but not least, and then we'll dive into more, I'm so sorry about the sniffling, you guys. I struggle with seasonal allergies and they've been really kicking my tail, kicking my ass lately. In any case, last card, but certainly not the least. I wouldn't say it's the most important, but it's all of these cards are equally important. But I feel like this one is the most misunderstood, if that makes sense. Let's talk about, this last card is about your reputation, career, the legacy you're going to leave behind. What are people going to remember about you when you're no longer here on earth? What do you need to understand about this aspect of yourself as it relates to the direction that you're going and the changes that you're making? Okay. Mirror guardian, take time to reflect. Interesting. Look at how she's looking down. Right? And it's almost as though she's recognizing that she is one with the universe. The fact that this is in the 10th house, or in the, what is like the, relative to the 10th house of legacy and such, you guys might be kind of doing that right now. You might be recognizing, like, you're reflecting on who you are, what you are, and what you want to be remembered for. Some of you guys might need to be reminded of the ways that you have already been great to this world and what you've already brought to this world. And then you might need to recognize that you can triple that, right? If you could do that, then imagine what else you can do now that you know yourself better. So I'm going to grab maybe 3 tarot cards per house, if you will, to get more clarity. What's this Peacekeeper card regarding in the collective's first house, or the collective's area of self regarding the new direction that they're going in, the way they're updating and changing their lives? First card out, 4 of Pentacles. Interesting. All right. Let's look at her for a sec, because I'm using one of my decks that require more intuitive reading as opposed to just the meaning of the cards. It's interesting to me. The 4 of Pentacles usually speaks to like having a lack of resources or needing to be guarded with your resources. She looks very at peace here. And it's interesting because her pentacles are secure. They're on her. She's wearing them. They ain't going nowhere unless somebody walks up to her and like rips them away. And that's highly unlikely because she looks very comfortable and confident. She looks, looking at her makes me think of that song by Beyonce, Cozy. She looks like, I'm chilling. I'm good. Life is good. If you try to snatch my pentacles, I'll fuck your ass up though. That's what her energy is giving. She's so relaxed and calm because she's so confident in her ability to protect herself. So that's why that whole peacekeeper let go of the need to be right. You don't have to go to all these lengths to prove that you're right. Just rest in it. Rest in being right, because the reality is that something is going to come out to prove that you are right. There's really no need for you to do the arguing and the convincing. And that's what I'm getting from that Four of Pentacles card. That's what I'm seeing with her energy. Give me another card regarding this peacekeeper energy. The objective here, the hope here, is that many different things come up for different sections so that the message can resonate with as many people as possible. Next is the Three of Wands. Look at her. This looks like somebody who is a little bit curious. She's recognizing that she has options. She's recognizing that, and this is obviously gender non-specific. I'm just going based on what the card shows, right? She's recognizing like, oh, I have some power here. I have some power here. So what do I do with this power? Some of you guys may have recognized that you are very gifted in an area that you didn't know you were gifted in. So now, what do you do with this? What do I do with this? Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Interesting. What do I do with this? You learn. Instead of arguing with people about dumb shit, go off and master some skills in that new area. Visualize what your life could look like with you being a master of that area. King of Cups here. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. I love that in this first house, or this, area of self regarding what you're leaning into and how you're changing your life, it's regarding this peacekeeper energy. It's like somebody's mastering the self, mastering their emotions, mastering how things affect them, mastering even, honestly, what you fucking care about. Love that. Queen of Pentacles here trying to come out again. I'm not going to take it out, but if she comes out one more time, I'll take her out. Next, let's talk about this Medicine Guardian card. Give me some more clarity on that. Why did this card come out? First card out, Ten of Cups. I'll be honest, I don't know if this was supposed to come out in the reverse or the upright, so I'm going to put it back in a reshuffle. But again, fourth house energy, family, home, the roots, ancestry. The fact that the Ten of Cups came out. For some of you guys, it might look like learning how to better communicate, something that your family has not been able to do. Be open to healing information. For some of you guys, it might look like making a decision or choosing a partner, not so much based on survival, but just based on, hey, I'm good, you're good, more so like a balance, if that makes sense. Okay, the Chariot here in the reverse. So, okay, breaking generational curses for sure. Be open to healing information. For some of you guys, it is regarding therapy and just mental health in general. Some of you guys may come from a family of very healthy people, and that's why I feel like it's some sort of like a mental health diagnosis or something like this. Something that your family has never really cared about because they felt like the only health that really mattered was health that you can see. And it might be a thing where you probably don't have people in your family who are like severely mentally ill, so they never really cared, right? You might have a thing, you might have borderline personality disorder, and people just thought you were moody. You know what I mean? And you might not be the only person in your family who has this shit. That's what's crazy. And your family probably just always brushed it off like, oh, such and such is just moody. Oh, auntie such and such just be moody sometimes. When auntie such and such probably had BPD as well. And you're the first person who's actually like, yeah, so we've all been good. We all have good heart health. We all have good, physical health, but baby girl, we need to be talking about this mental health, Two of Swords. Let's talk about it. Okay, I love that. Okay, what else is coming out for this Medicine Guardian? Be open to healing information. For some of you guys, you might be the healing information that your family needs to open up to. Okay, yeah. Hierophant. Yeah, some of you guys might actually be like super educated in something to the point where you might as well be the doctor. The World card tried to come out. Or some of you guys, for some of y'all, I'm not, okay, this is so random, and I don't know if this is who this is going to resonate for, and whoever, if this part that I do say resonates with somebody, please just let me know. Some of you guys might be completely going off course, and even though you're fully educated in one area of life, because of this thing, oh my God, Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck, so I know I'm right. Anyway, whatever this diagnosis or whatever this healing information is that applies to you, you might end up going and becoming a doctor because of this shit. You might end up going back to school and getting a PhD or something in this particular field. Even though you're highly educated someplace else, even though your whole career has always been in another direction, you might pivot completely. And yeah, that's kind of fire. Especially because you might have a child who also is at risk of having this same thing, and you don't want them to have the kind of experiences you've had. So let's say you got diagnosed with ADHD as an adult, right? And you're realizing, yo, grandma might have had that shit, this person might have had that shit, etc. Even if you don't like go to college, right? You might have gotten a diagnosis, or you might have a TikTok diagnosis, right? We just gonna keep it real. We're gonna keep it a bug. And you might be doing everything you can, doing all the research, well educating yourself so that you can support your child or children just in case they have it, so that they have the tools to not have the kind of experiences that you had navigating this shit undiagnosed. Page of Wands. Oh my God. Okay. This is confirmation because the pages are children in the tarot. I didn't even see what card flew out. I just said what I was saying. This card flew out while I was talking. I finished what I said, picked up the card, and it was the fucking Page of Wands. So that's the confirmation right there with the Medicine Guardian. Be open to healing information. You guys are turning around how certain things are affecting your entire bloodline just because of you. Like, you got a diagnosis and you're like, oh, and maybe it's not an actual diagnosis. It could be anything, but this is just what I'm picking up on. Whatever this thing is, it started with you, or at least rather it ends with you. It's been a part of your family history for a long time, because remember, we're going into the house of home, and the 4th house in astrology rules home, but not just like the house you currently live in. It rules the house you create based on the house you grew up in, the home environment that you create based on the home environment that you come from, right? And it goes way back down the ancestry. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Talk to me about this 7th house energy, the area of life regarding one-to-one partnerships. Okay. First card out, 8 of Swords. Interesting. Oh, let me show you guys the card. 8 of Swords. Oof. Girl, just spit the stick out. Yeah, 8 of Swords always speaks to like self-imprisonment, not realizing that you have the power to change the situation. For some of you guys, if you've been stuck in a marriage or one-to-one partnership that you've been in for a long time, and you're being mistreated in any way, it's okay to leave. Don't be scared to leave. I know it seems scary, but you can leave. You have the power to leave. Those swords are not touching you. That stick in your mouth that's keeping you silent, just spit it out. And the reason why I'm saying that is because that's what's going on in this card. In the 8 of Swords, no matter what deck you're working from, you're always going to see the image of somebody who is surrounded by swords and kind of tied up, literally tied up, and they have the power to escape. And what is that in her mouth? That is a sword in her mouth. So all you got to spit that motherfucking sword out and scream for help. Scream for help at the top of your lungs, because you think that somebody is there holding you hostage, and nobody's there. Nobody's there. Something about the heart chakra just came through. Some of you guys seriously need to heal your heart chakra. It's very blocked right now. Yeah. Wow. What else about this? Take note of intuitive messages. For some of you guys, you might have recently entered a one-to-one partnership of some kind, and you're just now noticing some red flags. Trust your intuition, baby. If you're seeing red flags, it's because red flags exist. Leave while you still can. Okay. King of Swords. Lots of swords energy. Seems like somebody's really in their head. I'm not gonna lie, somebody's kind of gaslighting themselves a little bit. And a part of it might be because they've been previously gaslit. For some of you guys, you might actually be in a very healthy one-to-one partnership, but because you still have some healing to do from a previous one, you might low-key run the risk of sabotaging this healthy one. And this could just be, like I said, it's not just romantic, so keep that in mind. The Moon card came up in reverse. What is this secretive energy? What is this secretive energy? For some of you guys, it's giving intrusive thoughts. For some of you guys, your subconscious is causing you to self-sabotage something. I don't know what. What is this secretive? Okay, thank you. Ace of Swords. Okay, Ace of Swords is confirming what I just said. Some of you guys are self-sabotaging something. Okay. And it's your subconscious that's causing the sabotage. And shit, I just completely... What happened here? Okay, it was a Chariot reverse. Sorry. My board just got all compromised. In any case, for some of you, you are not trusting your intuition enough. Some of you guys recently got some information in a dream. This might be your first time getting something like this in a dream, and you think that maybe you're crazy. Or you think, oh, it's just a dream. Baby, there's truth to everything. And that might be your higher self trying to make you aware of something. Lovers try to come out here. But you know what's interesting? I'm going to keep it. And this is why, right? Because I was just about to move on to the 10th house, or the area of legacy, career, etc. And the Mirror Guardian card is there saying take time to reflect, right? So you want to look at where you've been, grasp it, understand it, learn whatever you need to learn from it so that you can move on to where you're going, right? It's interesting to me that the Lovers card tried to come out, and I was going to put it back. And the reason why I kept it is because unlike any other tarot deck, all other tarot decks, the Lovers card involves two people. And the Lovers card is a major arcana card that speaks to connecting to a divine counterpart and making a big choice and things such as that. But this is the first time I've had a tarot deck where the Lovers card is one person. So for some of you guys, you're recognizing that maybe you've spent a lot of time abandoning yourself in the name of love, and you have to spend time focused on yourself. And in the name of love could look like you overly giving to certain like charitable organizations. Maybe you spend too much time volunteering when your own home is in shambles. Maybe you love really hard, right? I don't believe in saying, oh, I love hard. That's just to me, that's just a way of identifying codependency. I don't believe in saying, oh, I love too hard for XYZ. No. Loving hard sounds dumb. There's no great way to love. Love is love. Love is infinite, right? Nobody loves harder than the other. Loving hard, or what people call loving hard, is just codependency. Giving too much of yourself to somebody else in hopes that they would return that to you. And a lot of the time they don't return it, and you get mad and you say, oh, I just love too hard. That's my problem. You don't love hard. Who you need to be loving so hard is your goddamn self. Okay? I used to say that dumb shit. I'm not going to sit here and act like I never bought into that whole I love hard bullshit. Love is love is love is love. There's no special or more intense version of love. Okay? Love is infinite. Love is like water. Sure, you can put water in a pot and boil it and the water will become hot. You can put water in a fucking ice tray and pop it in the freezer and it will freeze and get solid, but it's still water. Whether it's hot water or frozen water that's now ice, baby, it's still water. And guess what? When you put that ice in a cup with some liquid, it's going to melt right back into water. When you let that pot of water sit and cool, it's still going to be water. The temperatures are just different. And yeah, you could even say, oh, well, that's the same as loving hard because I just love hotter or colder or whatever the case may be. No, what you're doing is you're putting a certain amount of pressure on that love by being codependent. And rather than just loving people to love them and just giving love without the expectation of a return, you love in a way that you want to be loved. Right? You give everything that you would want to experience. And when it's not reciprocated, you say that you were taken advantage of and you say that you love too hard. Do that for yourself, baby. Freeze that ice and put it in your own cup of water. Pop that motherfucking pot on the stove and make tea with your own water. I don't know. That's the most random analogy, and I hope I didn't lose you guys. But regardless, the fact that the mirror guardian is here representing the house of legacy and reputation and all that jazz, and then the Lovers card came out, but in the Lovers card she's looking in a mirror. You need to look in the mirror. You need to recognize the ways that you can be better to yourself, because you can't pour from an empty cup. Okay, I'm gonna see what else needs to come out, because that's just one card. I don't know who I was reading just now. I'm sorry for all that. That was intense. Why are the Lovers here in that legacy house? Oh, something tried to flip out. Let me see what I'm looking at. Ace of Cups. My goodness. My goodness. So for some of you guys, you may have been struggling in your love life. The reason why you've been struggling in your love life is for everything that I just named. Just remind yourself, it's not possible to love hard. Temperance. Create a balance. If you find yourself giving more than you're receiving, rather than feeling a sense of resentment, create some balance. Restructure it in some way. Okay? Look at how she is literally alchemizing. She's mastering energy. That's what you guys need to be doing, is mastering and controlling your energy. Yourself. And it always comes back to self. All these things always, it's like a cycle. You start with the self, you go through this cycle, you end with the self. The in-between houses, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 1st. That's how astrology works. That's how the zodiac wheel works. It's just continuously going. And it starts with self, it goes through all these phases, and it ends with self. I love you guys. I'll catch up with you guys soon. I hope you enjoy the reading. Bye.